wanted to share with you this junk journal. This is probably the junkiest journal that I've done, and what I mean by that is it really is a mishmash of things, mostly recycled. There are a few things in here that are new, but nothing that was purchased just for this journal. It was comprised of things that were in my stash. Things I'd been hoarding. So when the pandemic started, I think I started this in March, when things got shut down. And I said, I need to create, and I really need to use up things that I had been hoarding. I had a huge drawer of papers, bags, envelopes that I had been collecting, thinking I will do something with them someday, and had never done it. And I said, this is a great chance to take a challenge. So it looks like this. It is soft. The outside cover is a Hallmark bag. I had really liked the white flowers on this Hallmark bag. Thought it would be pretty to do something with that, so I did. It is reinforced inside with cardstock. So I opened up the bag, put cardstock inside. So the cover is not just the bag. There's some little thickness. And then I took twine and I blanket stitched all the way around the outside. And it really is one signature that I stitched again with twine. It's like a five pamphlet stitch. Put a little button here. It's a little loop. It probably doesn't work great, but it goes over that button. And then inside, full of different kinds of paper that I collected. A few things that I did art, drawing, or things like that. A couple things that people had sent to me in swaps. I'll point those out. So inside, gotta glue that. Inside the front cover, I had, a doily, a burlap doily that was in my stash, some ridged kind of cardboard. I had this bag that was in my stash. This tag is packing from something I bought, and it was, see the little bitty dots and kind of shiny. So, but I had said, it would be a great tag someday. So I added some washi. This is like typing paper in the front and back. And I thought it made a great tag. Rounded the corners. This is a big coloring page book that I had, like a 12 by 12 that was in my stash. And, I colored just a little bit. I thought, I'll color the whole thing. No, I'm not that ambitious, I decided. So I stopped. So, that is that page. I put just some this is really old paper that came from a scrapbook. It is honestly not strong enough to stand on its own. It had to be glued to a backing. I did draw this, and with my Tombow watercolor markers, and did the lettering. I love the tree. I'm not so crazy about the lettering, but it is all Dana. And if you don't have Tombow watercolors, they are fun to play around, because I just sketch a little bit, and then I hit it with a water brush, and it just makes a cool effect. This is an envelope, this flip that I lined, and then these are also Tombow watercolor, played around with this. Made a little pocket. It's okay, but you can tell, the quality of the paper. The paper, this kind of paper that's an envelope doesn't work terrific with watercolor, but it worked out okay. I have just some plain, cardstock or something. This little folder was in my stash, and it was almost like a little mini file folder. I turn outside. These were things that were in my stash. This is a wallpaper sample that I had sent off for, probably well over a year ago, and had just been in my stash, sitting and doing nothing with. I have picked up various kind of typing papers and parchment and things like that from thrift stores and been holding on. I have packages of those. So, you know, while it was purchased, it wasn't purchased for this journal. This came from a swap from somebody overseas. It came from, I don't even know, some magazine. But yeah, I thought it was really cute and fun. This is some old, you know, accounting paper I had. This is an envelope, and it's really hard to tell. It's an envelope, and then this is a magazine image that I really just liked, and I cut it out and pasted it on there. And then inside there is a tag that I made that was part of a file folder that I'd cut for something else. Oops. And I just, you know, put a book page on it and put some washi on it. And I'll stick that back in later. This is an envelope I made out of a book page and a little heart that was in my stash. And again, at a thrift store, I had picked up a huge like road almanac that I've been ripping and making pages out of. Been there, folded it over, made a little pocket. These are just some paper that was there. Here's another kind of, you know, if you're looking for this kind of paper, just hit thrift stores. You can get books, and if some of them are written in, that's fine. So, you know, okay, this didn't really junk mail, but again, I purchased it, I don't know how long ago, and I have pads that are just sitting around. I have a couple of these in here, these little carpe diems. I get my house cleaned by Mary Maids. Yes, I love it, and I'm spoiled. It's one of my splurges. And they leave these behind, so that's in there. This is a wallpaper sample that, again, that I had sent for, and then I glued a bag on the tap. This is not a true postcard. It was like a piece of scrapbook paper, been in my stash for a long time. I added some washi, made little buttons that were there. This is a tag kind of, and it's pretty just plain on the back, but I had done this magazine transfer. So you basically, I think it was matte medium, and you put a magazine page down, and then you let it dry, and then you wet it, and you rub the paper off, and it leaves kind of interesting effect. Just some random paper again that I had picked up a package of, and it's been in a stash. This is also similar. I had a really wide ledger. I probably paid $1 or $2 at Goodwill once. This is an old calendar, and the calendar paper is thin, but it was pretty. What I did is I fold it in half, and I like this kind of in the middle. And I've got a couple pieces of thin kind of tracing paper, some music, another paper, and then this is someone did in a swap. I got it, thought it was real pretty. I just thought that made pretty middle of this picture. And then there you can see is where I sewed, you know, that's the middle of my signature. So a lot of this is going to be repeat. There's the pretty poppies again. This is the back of that wallpaper sample. I added some, you know, just some decor, flips. This is the back of that magazine. Again, I put another carpe diem, and this was I don't know, something that someone sent me in the mail. I think they were trying to get me to do a financial planning thing. It's a card, but I just glued it on more like a tag. This is a neat place that we went to. Neat bed and breakfast in southern Arizona, which I think unfortunately has closed because of the pandemic, and I'm not sure if they're going to open. This is another side of that big envelope. So you can see there's the window part, and I just decorated it. This is a very funky tag I did. I got something that had this shredded kind of paper in packing. The guts of the tag, which you can probably just see here. This is a Tim Holtz card that came from something I bought from Tim Holtz. And on this back side under here is the writing, you know, all the skew and all that. So I like, oh, I had a thesaurus kind of page. It fit perfect. I glued this packing, put there. It's very junky. I don't typically do this shabby junky style. There is more paper. This is the back side of that, you know, foreign language, cool magazine. Oops, sorry. Paper. wallpaper sample. Here's another watercolor Tombow thing I did. This is just chipboard that I got. I think it was a packing, something that I bought. I fringed the edge, put a little brad on it, glued it to the back of an envelope. This came from a magazine on that really old scrapbook paper that has to be mounted. The back side of that black and white. And then here's the back cover. Stuff I had in my stash. And this is also another one of these, you know, a tag that I made out of a leftover, I think, American Crafts, something I bought. I added washi in order to cover up the writing. A lot more washi on this side. Put a little typing paper. There you go. So that's my walkthrough of my true junk journal. And I think I'm going to send this to kind of a friend, not a close friend, but an acquaintance as a piece of happy mail, because I think she'll enjoy it. All right, hope you liked it. Bye-bye.